Hey, bro, don't forget, it ain't the first 48, bro. It's 60 minutes, bro.
We heard a whole lot of lip service, but hey, anybody can do that. But between them lines,
come with the kid, you best not miss. Even the score now, we need to score now. Back on that wall, when you hear that call, you know it's going down. We play from beginning to ending, you know how we finish. Turn to the bank, gotta handle our business. We need the ball, so it's time to go get it. Play with your heart when you hit, make like, who you with? You know I'm with. You come to the bank and get out of line, we sending a blitz. Say who you with? You know I'm with. That purple and black, and when we attack, you know what it is.
You're now locked in Zone 32.
That shit did not sound country, man. It's all good. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Zone 32 podcast. We got a gang of motherfuckers in this tonight. My name is Jake. His name is Drew. His name is Will. His name is Brandon BT. His name is motherfucking Grant. His name is Trippy. And we got a special guest, man, who is a part of the Drive White Beers podcast. Find him on drivewhitebeers.podcast.com. You can also follow him on the Twitter at dwaybeers. His name is Alex. Say what's up to the people.
Fuck you, Jay.
How's everybody doing?
Shut the fuck up, you mark ass bitch. I got a show to get into. Now go ahead, Alex. That's all you. I just did it. Too fucking bad. Don't be rude, Drew. You won't be rude.
Yeah,
Grow hair on the top of your motherfucking head.
I'm the rude one, asshole.
Fuck off, you big titty behemoth.
Hey yo, that's crazy. You said that because the day is Titty
is.
Tuesday too, man. That's crazy. Shout out to
Hey,
Titty Tuesday. Man.
Shout out Titty Tuesday, man. You go titty bar down the road.
Hey, I brought mine too, so don't worry about
it.
So
nobody.
Anyway,
the
titty committee. Hey man, there's the itty bitty titty committee and the big old titty committee. That is what it is. But still,
all right,
Alex,
if we're doing that.
Speak. You got the floor first before we get into it.
No, just thanks for having me, guys. Looking forward to it.
No doubt. Anyway,
anybody
so we got
to throwing guests in.
Yeah, maybe not. Either way.
All right, I'm joining this big committee.
That's right. Anyway,
yeah, I mean, like, I'm gonna do a whole photo shoot with Budweiser's and my shirt and probably dump some on myself.
Yeah, that's right. That's that one half I recall y'all talking about. But anyway, we got a game to recap just because the Ravens hosted the Bills on Sunday night and they beat the shit out of the Bills 35-10. Josh Allen struggled, didn't even throw for over 200 yards. The King came out, stayed the King, ran for almost 200. He was a yard short, but 209 total yards. So, Drew, you know what to do. Floor is yours.
You buried the lead on the most important score of the game, the Patrick Ricard touchdown. But, just buried.
Yeah, it's a fumble recovery, though. Did that hit for your parlay?
it's a touchdown.
Fucking
I had a bully FanDuel and they paid me for it, but they finally did the right thing and paid me. So, I got the Ricard touchdown on the way early this year. Speaking of Ricard, when we play him more snaps, good things seem to happen. Because, it means we're committing to the run and, the misdirection and not just trying to run to the right against, behind our bad offensive line. So, I don't know, maybe more of that. I'd like to see, Mark Andrews maybe show up next week. I'm getting, very concerned about him. But really, other than that, there's not much to complain about. There was like a 5-minute window there where it looked like we were going to choke away a big lead, and then they kind of got their feet under them, and we're good to go for the rest of the game. There is not much to complain about at all. So I don't know. Unfortunately, Max, we can't be hard on this because not
I have two complaints. I have two. There was two mistakes made in the game. Well, I'll be fair. There were three, but two of them were major mistakes, and one of them was a lesser mistake. So the biggest mistake was Harbaugh on the timeout.
And the Bateman drop pass.
And that's the second one. The Bateman drop touchdown, because that is a trend. Because I saw, I think Stone is watching this. I saw him retweet the link. He might not be watching. Maybe he was just being nice and retweeting. But he said people are talking about Bateman's drop, but not about Zay's on 3rd and 20. So I will mention that Zay dropped a pass on 3rd and 20. Now, it was a very challenging catch.
It was not a challenging. It was, I think Collinsworth put it best when he said that he was so focused on getting his feet down, he forgot to catch the ball.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot more to it than Bateman was just open in the end zone and the ball hit him in the fucking hands.
If we're going to be fair, Zay should have caught that. It was 3rd and 20. It was
he should have caught it.
It hit him in the hands and it went down. So, to be fair, but the difference between Zay and Rashad is that Zay does that once every 5-6 games, maybe. Whereas Rashad does it every other week. So
and Rashad did it in the fucking end zone again.
Yeah.
So now I'm not going to complain too much.
Take away all his fucking nail polish. Take away all his Balenciaga. Take away all his other designer shit that I don't know the name of.
Okay. Zamboni makes a good point. Mark Andrews had a bad drop too.
Yes,
he did.
But doesn't matter. It's still not worse than Bateman dropping the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, that's
horrible.
I would argue it can be because I think Andrew's confidence is shit right now, and I think that you could see his mannerisms and look on his face.
This comment's funny.
When
I can't read it. You have to read it out
loud. That was embarrassing drop. Looked like T-Rex trying to catch it.
Yeah,
but it killed his confidence. You know what I mean?
His hands too early on it. That's just inexcusable. It's not like it was some tough. When I saw it live, I thought maybe he bumped the corner, or, was a little tighter coverage or something like that. But, he was, a yard behind him. There was no reason to drop that ball. None at all.
It's wide open.
Yeah.
Drew mentioned a big difference, though. Drew mentioned a big difference.
Are you going tomorrow, by the way, Pigtown?
Alex, go ahead. Ignore Will. He's drunk reach out as usual.
No, I was just saying, you made a good point. So with Zay and Mark, everyone knows their talent's there because they've performed. Even Zay with only 1 year under his belt, he's performed, right? With Bateman, this is year 3 or year 4 at this point, and the dude doesn't perform. And the fact that you dropped the one in the end zone again, you don't know how to do the scramble drill again. Mm-hmm. It's like everyone's just sick of it at this point. He's an all-star. Right, Steve Smith would call him a jag.
Yeah, you could build up. You know what I mean? If you make enough good plays, I'm willing to forget Mark Andrews dropped that or Zay Flowers dropped that because they've done enough to make me forget that. Whereas Bateman really
100%
just hasn't. And at this point, I don't think he ever will. I know that Will, float a hypothetical out there of Devontae Adams for Bateman in a second. I would drive Bateman to Las Vegas myself for that. Go pick him up at his house and stuff him in the back of my trunk and drive him out there. So
I second that motion.
Yeah, and it's bad in a sense because if and this isn't a knock on the guy I'm comparing Bateman to, but for what Bateman does, and you got to think of this as a first rounder there, but my comparison for him is Kamar Aiken right now. We tried to depend on him a couple seasons as a 2, tried to depend on him the 1 year as a 1 when Flacco went down. Was that 2015?
Yeah,
2015.
And he would have games where he'd flash, he'd get 100 yards receiving, 8 catches, 2 touchdowns, but then he'd disappear for 3 weeks. Bateman will make a big catch and a clutch catch, but then he'll drop the easy once he's not consistent, and you expect more out of that out of a first-round pick, and he's just not delivering. So, I'm
right.
I'd ride shotgun.
The fact that you're comparing him to Kamar Aiken, that was a late-round pick that kind of, again, like you said, flashed out of nowhere.
He was undrafted, I think.
Do anything. I thought he was a 6th round pick, but he might have been undrafted. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. But regardless,
Sports said Bateman reminded him of Demetrius Williams from Oregon.
Yeah, that's another guy with all the physical talent in the world and just couldn't catch the fucking ball. That's a big part of being a wide receiver is catching the fucking ball. And every time I tweet something about it, I get some little fanboy upset in my mentions. But how about he just catches the ball instead of you getting mad at me? It's not my fault. He can't catch.
At this point, those people are just the people that don't want to admit being wrong. That's all that is.
They've done this weird thing where it's the Ravens don't give him enough of an opportunity. It's the same mental gymnastics they used to play with Prochet and they play with every wide receiver that doesn't do well. It's it's everybody else's.
But you got to earn your opportunities, and that's the key thing that a lot of people don't get and they don't pay attention to is why the fuck is Lamar going to keep trying to target him when he's dropping wide open touchdowns?
How do we feel about this?
How do we feel about what?
I like
Can you see the screen?
Oh,
no, I'm wearing sunglasses inside.
Yeah, no.
That's a duh. That's
duh. Like Drew said,
who did that edit, yo? I like that edit.
We will all drive Bateman straight
throwing
to
a fucking bag of Funyuns with Bateman just to get people to take Bateman.
Yeah, there's a lot of too about we don't need Devontae Adams, and I don't.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Everyone can use Devontae Adams.
Everyone can. And
if you're
exactly.
We just spent 5 fucking minutes talking about Bateman and his history of dropping touchdown passes. So
your argument is that you don't want to get your hopes up because you don't think Devontae Adams is realistic because of the salary cap and potential that another team is going to come in and give a better offer. Fine, I can live with that. I think it's dumb to not pursue him. But if your argument is that we don't need Devontae Adams because we have Rashad Bateman, you need to get your head checked out. is really what it boils down to. Like you're a special person that needs to, fucking wear a helmet when you go out in public and like, maybe have an aide walk you around everywhere.
I don't get it, man.
He's got a $25 million cap hit right now.
Yeah, and so I think we'd be on the hook for 13 if we traded him.
13.
And they could re-sign him immediately with a front-ended signing bonus and really cap it down, and then just kind of elevate next season.
And I was thinking about this. Like the problem with that is that if you're the Raiders, like, do you want to potentially eat some of Devontae Adams' contract and sit there and wait for a contract renegotiation, or do you just want to get him for a straight second-round pick from somebody like the Jets who have the cap space? You don't have to do anything. And so that's where I can see us missing out on him, is that there's just a path of less resistance for the Raiders where they get the same return and they don't have to do anything. So then like I could see us missing out on him, and I would be irritated, but like I'd understand that. Like, sometimes there's just shit that we have to do. There's like cap maneuvering that we'd have to make that isn't always easy and doesn't always come together immediately. And so if that's why we miss out on it, like I'll live with it. But if it's because we don't want to go all in and go get Devontae Adams, I don't at all.
Now, what I would like to see happen is they try and make this move because this is the best move, but then the next one is, okay, it doesn't work, pivot and go get DeAndre Hopkins, because I think we need to upgrade at wide receiver if we're really going to be that team in the playoffs, especially because the Bills don't have very good receivers. The Chiefs just lost their best receiver, so they're down 2 receivers. So like,
Mahomes going to get fined for that hit on Rice.
Yeah,
I feel like that was a dirty
hit. You should, right?
You can't go low on guys like that. I feel like you got to fine him for that.
DeAndre Hopkins was the move when he was a free agent after that Arizona debacle he had there.
There's a reason.
The numbers.
There's a reason why we won't get Hopkins. There's a reason why we didn't get Hopkins. I think I said this on the podcast, so I don't know if I'm breaking news, but he allegedly had gang affiliations. In Houston, and so like he had a whole group surrounded with. There's something to do with one of his baby mamas and some huge kingpin down in Houston, and like Bill O'Brien pulled him aside and said, "You're going the same route as Aaron Hernandez," and that caused a whole shitstorm in the media. But like those aren't the guys that we go after. I would love DeAndre. We were pounding the table for him for years, but once I heard that whole side of things, I'm like, yeah, he's not going to come here, unfortunately.
Yeah, no.
But he is the guy that is a perfect example of a guy that, like, somebody who has that skill set. And, I wouldn't mind, again, Cortland Sutton. I know we've brought him up on podcasts multiple times. The Broncos offense fucking sucks. Like, they're not doing anything. So why not get rid of Cortland Sutton at this point? And I'd happily take it.
Yeah,
they did beat the Jets, though.
That was one of the most boring, ugly games I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
They're on the what are they, 2-2 with Bo Nix? I mean,
yep, they're 2-2 with Bo Nix.
Yeah, but you got to realize Bo Nix is like a year away from retiring and selling. What is he? What is he, like 37 at this point? So
something like that.
And Sean Payton's supposed to be an offensive mastermind, and that's like the kind of offense that they sputter up as 10 points. I would take Cortland Sutton in a heartbeat. I'm sure there's somebody else out there that we're not thinking of that could be had for relatively cheap. And it looks like the kind of offense that we're going to play for the rest of the year is that kind of run heavy, and you have to be like perfect in your situational passing. And I just don't trust anybody on the roster of you have that key 3rd and 7 that you have to pick up of them hauling in that pass. And we need a veteran person on the roster that's going to do that. Nelly had a free agent, so just throwing that one out there too.
Nelly had a big third down grab.
You did.
Yeah, I mean, what about with Andrews, Likely, and Zay on the field? Like having those be your 3 main wide receivers, and you put Aguilar somewhere on there, and that way Bateman's off the field.
So I'd be okay with that.
All 4 of those guys got hands.
If Mark comes back to the Mark of old, then yeah, that's a great guy to have out there. There's something off with him. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just
confidence.
It looks more.
They're also not throwing the ball that much.
Yeah, and then when they do, he doesn't break the right way, or he's not quick in and out of his breaks. He's not finding that open space. He's not catching the ball. Like there's something not totally there with him. I feel like he needs an IR stint. Again, I said this last week. I don't know if they're going to actually do that though. And then
I'm with both. I'm agree with both you and Grant. Both the confidence level, because coming off an injury like that, you're going to obviously see your confidence level, especially if you're acting as if you're 100%, but you're really at like 85, 90%.
Yeah, so, and I feel like he is telling the coaches that he's 100%. He's just not. I mean, it's just blatantly obvious that he's not.
So put him on that short-term IR.
Yeah. 4
Well, and
weeks.
his snap counts,
let him get right.
kind of agree with that. I think if he were healthy, they would have him on the field a lot more.
Well, I also don't think that they're putting him out there because I think Kohler's a better blocker than him, and he kind of fits what they need at the moment more than Mark Andrews does.
I'm just saying, considering that Mark Andrews has been the focal point of the receiving group for the last 5 years plus, it's odd that he has such a small snap share, even if we're going run heavy, whatever. And he, in the past has been on the field a lot for he's basically on the field all the time. So
it's also kind of funny that our fans were like, you got to get away from Mark Andrews, like stop forcing him the ball all the time, then stop putting him on the field, and that's a problem.
Well, and I agree with Drew. Like, I think it's more or less of it's Kohler's a better blocker, Likely's a better blocker, and it's not necessarily that we're looking to run more in the run game. It's more of a fact of the holes in the offensive line. They needed that added protection with the extra blocker on the edge. So
which is why it was bizarre. We played Ricard like 20 and 30% of snaps in the first 2 weeks, and our offensive line looked like shit. In the last 2 weeks, it's looked a lot better, and Ricard's played like 50% of snaps.
Yeah,
but we're also the past 2 weeks, when we've been scoring more points and, outside of the fact that we took our foot off the gas in Dallas, we've been throwing from run sets, like we've been using play action and disguising.
Like
that's what we should be doing.
Right.
I mean, like that's what our skill set is right now. I mean, we ran for 270 something and averaged 8 yards a carry. So, I mean, like when you're doing that and your time of possession is 30 minutes. So when you're running for 270 yards, you're averaging 8 yards a carry and your time of possession is 30 minutes versus their 28, and they scored 10 points, you scored 35. Those are quick strikes. That's controlling the clock. And that's, really like just taking advantage of your offensive system and trying different things. Like I loved, I thought Monkey called his best game of the year, no question.
Yeah, by far.
I don't think you're going to see that kind of a game call every week, though. I think
no.
I think Monkey put up that comment.
Monken's going to change it. Monken's going to change it up.
Yeah. So this is a good time to what you're saying and what Pigtown's saying. Is it concerning how much playing time Kohler's getting? Kohler was drafted to be. I believe him and Likely.
Nick Boyle.
He was
he was the most efficient red zone tight end receiver in NCAA football when we drafted him. And we were so deficient in the red zone. Well, we were so when he came in, he was regarded as a poor blocker. So he's developed.
He was a pass catcher.
He's a pass catching tight end.
And so was Boyle out of Delaware.
Back when I did my other podcast, I was really big on Kohler. And he reminded me a lot of like an underdeveloped, almost like Dennis Pitta. Really good in the red zone. And
which we didn't have. We didn't have any big bodies. We still don't have any really big bodies.
Him and Likely were number one and number two at I think that like red zone catches on targets or whatever.
Correct.
Like their efficiency in the red zone was number one and number two in all of NCAA. So
I just want you to have this in your back pocket. I want you to get that likely raw athletic score thing as a wide receiver up. Because if we don't go get a Devontae Adams or another wide receiver, that's got to be the move. Is you play Likely as your wide receiver 2, essentially.
Yeah, that's easy to find. That's easy.
I agree with you. I think if you can get Likely and Andrews on the field as much as possible, that's your best bet. Just because everyone's going to respect Andrews because he's an All-Pro, and Likely is that dude in the red zone that will go up and get a ball. He is a dog when it comes to
Pigtown's question, though. I would say it's not predictable because we can deploy Kohler as a pass catcher at any time. He's being used as a blocker a lot of the time, but he can flip the switch very quickly and be a big time threat to catch the ball. I think Likely is a much different player than Mark Andrews is, and Kohler is more like Mark Andrews, which that's where you get into that conversation. Yeah. So that's where you get into the conversation of is it more more realistic to think that we're coming to the end of the Mark Andrews era in Baltimore because Kohler can slide into that role.
And I think that's maybe something you look at in the offseason. I think.
No, for sure, yeah.
But I think it's depending on what you want to do schematically.
That's a transition, though. It's a transition. It doesn't just, they're not just going to. I'm saying, like Kohler obviously being on the field more definitely lends itself to the idea that they're kind of phasing Mark back, if not out.
And
They're planning for life.
It depends
life
on what you're
beyond
trying to do, though, because the schematics for each game are totally different. But I see what Drew's saying as the wide receiver standpoint, because Mark Andrews is a flex Y, which is more of a slot Y. But then you have likely he's not like a true X, but he can do a lot of the outside the numbers running outside the hashes routes that an X could do. But you could also motion him in different types of run sets to manipulate defensive fronts. So I think it's flexible enough. And not saying like he would be a full-time wide receiver, but I think you could, 60 to 70% him as a split out X or a flex Y, either one, because he's so versatile in that aspect. So I think when you're talking tight ends, I think realistically you have Kohler and you have Andrews. And I think likely is kind of that wild card. He's like he's a 2024 Kyle Juszczyk. Like he's not a fullback, but he's the split version of that.
He's not really fast enough to
in
be
the
a
offense.
full-time outside wide receiver, but he's
Right.
not really, big enough to be a full-time like blocking tight end either. So he's got a little bit of everything that he does.
And he does
you don't want him to gain weight and get slower.
No,
So
because then you lose.
He does well. He does well in the blocking game. The way they set him up for blocks, whether it's like an inline
he
crack,
plays his
or
role
whether
really
it's
well.
like a hook block, or like whether he's leading up in a hole or leading on the outside. Like he's good blocking in space.
The thing I like about him, it's the same thing I like about Ricard, is that if you told him to go play quarterback, he just fucking do it. There's no ego. There's no like, oh, my role should really be this. It's just like, yeah, fuck it, put me on the field, I'll do whatever the fuck you ask me. He might not be best suited for it, but he's gonna give it his best every time. It's same thing with Justice Hill. He's got the same.
Do you think that mentality though comes from him coming out of Coastal? He wasn't at a Power 5 school or anything like that, so he's kind of had to get it a little bit out of the mud.
here we go.
My gosh,
Ricard,
ain't nobody.
Ricard and likely. I'm just saying.
The Massachusetts State bird is a cupcake.
Mass holes.
Massachusetts invented Grant, so maybe you should respect it a little bit more. Asshole.
Did they also be getting shot?
Yeah, I mean, shit happens sometimes.
By the British. Happens,
it was one guy. You had to, it's greater good kind of situation.
You had
greater good.
You had Paul Revere's shirt on yesterday.
Did I?
was that yesterday or that was Sunday?
Stop.
that was Sunday.
You had it on. You don't wear a Paul Revere shirt and wonder if you have it.
It was a Callaway.
You're wearing that shit.
It was a Callaway ball, and it was Sunday.
That was Drew's shirt that got him on the
racist way back.
On the
racist profile picture collage.
Oh, I saw that. That was very well done. Whoever put that together.
Some retard named Will. I don't really like him that much. I mean, I don't typically look at myself in the mirror before I leave, and I had to pull something off my visor, and I looked and I was like, Jesus Christ, like I fit this to a T.
It was actually I made it, and I was like, I had to look at it a couple times to find you after
Yeah, I did the same thing.
I was like, where is he again? Blended it.
I was like, oh shit, there he is. I found Waldo.
I gotta go find that.
You were the first one to send it. You were the first one to send it, but there was like 2 other iterations of the same picture, and I couldn't find myself first glance in any of it. I was like, oh shit. It was the sunglasses, the American flag, the angle that I took it from the car. I was like, Jesus Christ. I look like all of these, I looked like I should have been shouting at somebody to stand for the national anthem, but
I'm gonna put
Grant hijacking the podcast as usual with his backhanded remarks.
But yeah,
for the record, when I took that picture, I sent it to a private group that we're in, and I said I unlocked the Grant starter pack. So
I can't find it.
I just love that you're doubling down with the Budweiser sleeveless today. Like, I think that one's more American.
Well, just like I said, sometimes it's fun to just go stand out and by a horse stable and dump some Budweisers on myself and take pictures. That's where I just came from before this. That's how I was celebrating the Orioles loss. It's a very, very many people will understand that. They'll just think I'm a fucking weirdo, but it's fine. Target audience.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Yeah, so I have sunglasses on where I'm just looking at this.
There he is, right there.
Like a bunch of fucking all the same. If I made that my profile picture, tweeted 100 things at Colin Kaepernick about disrespecting the flag, I feel like I would fit right in with that community.
You're a chameleon.
Yeah, fucking January 6th was nobody did anything wrong. It was just a party at the Capitol.
Don't get Grant started.
That's right, partner. That's right.
Vaccine was fake.
They gave me milk and cookies.
Grant, give me some more talking points. Maybe I'll make a burner account and infiltrate that community. Do you have like street cred in that community, Grant, so that I could be like, oh, I know Grant. You can trust me.
You say, hey, I know a guy.
Hey,
Grant hosts all the meetings.
I know Grant, who led you around the Capitol on January 6th. I'll be like, oh yeah, I like that guy.
There's a team set up.
Do we have much else this Sunday? Oh, Bills fans been great, by the way. Thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah.
I saw one of the okay, we've seen it all from these fucking people all off season. They spent the entire off season complaining about who won the fucking MVP, as if who gives a shit, honestly.
Yeah, but they're the Bills. They're like they don't win Super Bowls. They don't know what else.
I get that. So today, their comeback today was at least our quarterback gets up when he gets hit. Your quarterback is soft. They've gotten to that point, and then they posted a picture of Lamar Jackson when he got the concussion in the in the game against Buffalo, the playoff game against Buffalo.
The fuck?
That's the banner you're gonna hang.
Our quarterback.
Got up after a strip sack.
I mean, to keep it 100, he wasn't the same after Travis Jones knocked the shit out of him after that strip sack. He played like shit out there.
That was probably my favorite play of the game. Was not that Josh Allen fumbled, that's great, but Travis Jones just fucking
knocked him the fuck out,
making sure he could take his own fumble.
That was the momentum changer. That was the momentum changer.
Oh, and a great
I got a question though. Is Bills Twitter just that shitty? Because in general, Bills fans, and look, I'm from upstate New York, so I know a lot of them. They're not shitty people. They're usually the ones where if someone gets hurt at their stadium, they usually do they do a donation drive to some charity or something in that guy's name. So the Bills fan base in itself is generally a lot of good people. It just seems like there's 6 or 7 of them on Twitter that just seem to be the shittiest of shitty people.
If you look at all their locals, none of them are from Buffalo, and that's
okay. That makes more sense. All right,
they're that moron. The fucking cartoon Abby is from Spain, I think, right? I don't remember. He's from some fucking European country, so he's just again that's
Spain, Barcelona. Yeah, is where he is.
Yeah,
so he's irrelevant. Okay,
he's not a real person, but
Hey yo, why the fuck ain't nobody call me yet, yo?
I didn't even know you were still here. Yeah.
Hey bro, Hey yo, I want you.
Oh, is it? You've
been muted.
You. My new friend say hi. She said she a Tom Brady fan.
What the fuck is that?
There you go.
Kick her out of the
Oh, I got another one too. Look, she said she a Steelers fan.
Oh,
I'm fuck out of here with that bullshit.
You said where I'm at. Hey, I want my nice friend right here, man. She's sexy. Hey, show them teeth, baby. Show them teeth.
Oh shit.
Bro, you gotta see the eyes. Look, do me a favor real quick. Put the flashlight on your eyes.
I can get you on my show, baby.
Hey, bro, look, y'all gotta see our eyes real quick, bro. Look. Yo, look at the eyes, yo. Yo, look at these, bro. Look at these sexy eyes. Hold on, let me show you real quick.
He got a flashlight, dude.
Look at my eyes. My eyes black as shit compared to hers. Bro, she is so sexy, bro.
This is a wild ass experience. Let's go. I'm here for it.
She want to go to the Ravens game.
You will not get this on any other podcast, I assure you.
Hell no, you won't. Let's go. That's right.
Shut up, God.
Speaking of offensive lines.
Hey, hold on. My Emily wants to say something for the podcast. Hello.
There you go. Yep.
I love it.
All right. Sorry. Alex, you were saying.
Anyways, go ahead.
Oh no. So look, I mean, since we're throwing out lines and whatnot, can we? I don't even know how to word this because a lot's been said about it. And I know everyone's trying to heap praise on Falele right now.
No,
but
don't do it.
Don't.
No, my thing is,
do not.
Ben Cleveland should be the starting right guard for this team.
Okay.
Oh, no question. We've all been agreeing on that.
When we figure out what did, maybe we can reassess, and if it's actually some horrific crime against humanity, then all right, maybe I'm with Harbaugh on this. Yeah, there's no reason. None. At all.
You can't be 6'7", not athletic, slow feet, playing guard in the NFL.
No, he's a fucking slug.
Exactly.
I forget what NBA player was. I was sitting down by the floor at a Celtics game. And, guys like standing and do the inbounds and some drunk retard yelled at him like, "You're big for nothing." And that's just not what I think of Daniel Flaley. It's just
He's not a
big for no
guard.
reason.
He's not an interior.
He's not a guard.
Oh,
He is
He's not even really a
tackle.
tackle. Like, yeah, I mean, he was okay at tackle, but he really wasn't anything. Alejandro Gil weighs 80 pounds too, and he didn't really work out as a tackle. I think Flaley's problem is he's got a lot of size and has no idea how to use it. And I thought that, we could coach that into him and be like, hey, keep the guy in front of you, but he just doesn't seem to understand how to do that. So,
no, there's only one alternative, homie. Yeah, fire him into the sun.
Yeah,
Cleveland. But I mean, in Rosengarten's, man, he's playing well. He looks good.
He'll be fine.
He wasn't a day one starter. I mean, it just
exactly. He should have been.
And Makari looked much better at left guard, and I think part of it was that he was getting his, inadequacies hidden by Stanley and Linderbaum being on each side of him. But if you are committed to starting Makari, then I think left guard is the spot for him. And if you try Voorhees at right guard,
and he's athletic.
Last week or the week before, I said that Makari was a better guard or center than a tackle.
Yeah, he's too small to be it. Is most of his problem. He's just he can't do it.
And he had that great season, filling in for Matt Skura as a center.
Yeah, until he got Lamar killed in the playoffs.
Great
during
fucking
the
job. Regular season.
Great fucking job, Patrick.
Everyone used to love and rest in peace to the offensive line coach of the Ravens, but we drafted quite a few offensive linemen, and other than Linderbaum in the last few years, who haven't we kind of fucked over? Like Bozeman didn't start his first couple of years.
But see, I think that's part of the thing is that you draft a guy who's sort of a project. You put him under Joe's teaching for 2 or 3 years, and then he kind of figures it out.
Wasn't Faalele
a contract from another team? No, Faalele was a 4th round pick.
He was
fourth round. Okay,
top of the 4th round.
All right, but even Rosengarten though, you're not gonna start him.
Yeah, that was the funny thing. That's the one that doesn't make sense. Because we have this weird thing about not throwing rookies into the fire typically, which to some extent I understand, like kind of let them get their feet wet, but like the whole rotation at right tackle didn't fucking work. Like at some point we're not playing developmental games, we're playing to win football games, and you have to put the best guys out there. And it's clear that Rosengarten is the best guy on our roster to play right tackle. So there's no more of this rotation, no more Makari out there. I would say Faalele, your days are numbered, but for whatever fucking reason, I don't know what Ben Cleveland did. I mean, I've heard things, but none of them seem to amount to him not playing at all. So I don't get it at all.
And this comment is also another thing.
And there's been 5 day one guys: Grubbs, Yonda, Stanley, Linderbaum, and Ogden, of course.
Yeah,
but I can't think of any other rookies that were day one like that ended up having successful careers.
No,
I guess Michael Orr, you could argue he had a pretty successful career, but
I mean, he made more money off of movie than he did off of playing football. But
no, he didn't make any money off the movie. That's the problem, right?
Yeah, no, the Stewie family took all that from him.
Yep. Well, I mean, why did he sign conservatorship paperwork?
I just think stop fucking around. And
the guy made like $38 million in the NFL.
Put Ben Cleveland in and just run with it, man. Just get the fucking experiment out.
That's
no. What we should do is we should keep Patrick. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I like Andrew Voorhees, but I feel like the way how the offensive line was moving Sunday, like, why not run that shit back? I'm being honest with y'all. This is my opinion.
Maybe
because Faalele can't pass protect.
I wouldn't mind Voorhees at right.
That's why we only passed 11 times, because Faalele can't pass drop.
Yeah, I mean that is.
Well, here's the thing: at USC, wasn't Voorhees a right guard, or was he on the left side?
He was on the left side with Stanley.
I think you're thinking of Rosengarten was he was always playing right tackle, but his quarterback was left-handed.
That's sure. That's what I'm thinking about.
Rare moment where Will's correct, but Will is correct.
So Makari, I saw Sarah Ellison, and I think it was Skep. Yeah, I think it was Skep.
Probably.
They were going back and forth about Makari played well, but it's really risky to be using our backup tackle, our most experienced and effective backup tackle, as a left guard or as an interior lineman, as any sort of starting player if he's not going to be playing tackle.
Yeah,
we want to keep him healthy for if we need him, and he's a capable. I mean, he obviously had that fuck up, but he can play center though too. So,
and the reason why,
Especially with
hasn't
Stanley.
been a starter, he's got like that degenerative back issue where like he's getting time bomb and can't play 17-game season. So, I mean, again, putting him as a starter just doesn't seem to be the right move. But
well, and Voorhees was taken last year as a redshirt to be the starting left guard. Just
and I'm okay with. He hasn't been great by any stretch of the imagination this year, but he's been fine. He's not been an issue, so why not keep going with that?
Even though he's technically a second-year player, he's also a rookie.
He's a rookie. I mean, he's a rookie.
Yeah, a rookie that hasn't played in over 24 months.
Yeah, a rookie with the benefit of a year
being
of
with
learning,
the organization,
right? Learning and getting the benefit of. Well, I wouldn't have said this a couple years ago, but the benefit of the training staff, the medical staff, and everything. So he's been in the building a long time, but he is a rookie for all intents and purposes.
But here's, a big detriment. This is why I mentioned like the 24-month or the 18-month thing. He might have all the rehab and that kind of stuff going on and that kind of people behind him, but he hasn't seen live game action until week 1 for over 18
in the preseason too, but.
Yeah, but who knows? But what I'm saying is, going in the first week, everyone's hyped up. It's faster than preseason, so that's really his first game action in 18 months. I'm not worried about Andrew Voorhees. To be honest with you, I'm not worried about Roger Rosengarten either. It's that right guard slot, and I think whoever is going to be your long-term solution, put them in, let them take their lumps for a couple weeks, and that way by like week 5 or 6. Your starting 5 is gelled up for the remainder of the season.
My fear is that they do Daniel Falele as the long-term option, and that's what they were doing the first few weeks. And
I'm worried with you.
Is that they're going to pass this off as like, Ben Cleveland's the better guy right now, but by week 8, Daniel Falele is going to be better, and I just don't see it. I mean, again, I'm not an offensive line nerd. I'm not going to pretend to be like, Cole or one of these guys who like actually knows what they're talking about with the offensive line, but like, I see a lot of guys really supposed to be blocking them, and that's not good. Just to keep it that simple. So I don't love it. Speaking of rookies, I think do a victory lap on Nate Wiggins. So we both kind of accurately pointed out that he was a little overhyped for the Dallas game. Kind of found himself out of position a few times here and there, and maybe overran some balls. That was totally gone on Sunday night, and that kid's fucking good.
Really good, and he would have had like a perfect grade if he had caught those 2 interceptions. He should have had 2 interceptions.
Hey, I just want to say something about what I was ready to say. I know y'all not high on Falele, but I feel like the more and more he play, the confident he gonna get. So that's just my opinion. But I do feel like Roger looked good out there Sunday. So maybe we can, I don't know, have Roger start.
Yeah, maybe Falele next to Rosengarten is a much different guy at right guard than he was with McCarty next to him. But I don't know. I don't love the whole because I feel like you're wasting time for your offensive line to gel. Like Alex said, like throw somebody out there, let them take their lumps for a couple weeks, and then they're going to kind of be assimilated and good to go. And like when we're doing that in week 5, you got a lot of season ahead of you. When you're doing it in week 11, like you're running out of time there to get that combination right.
Well, Zamboni also makes a good point here. The silver lining for the offensive line is we've got some time until Miles Garrett and TJ Watt.
TJ Watt terrifies me to do something dirty. That's more why he terrifies me. Not really him as a pass rusher, but him as
probably gonna like have a fucking knife in his pants and stab someone or some shit.
Kyle Van Noy is TJ Watt. Somebody needs to find Kyle Van Noy and just keep punching him in the eye before the bone heals. For some reason, breaking his eye socket.
You know what? You know what we need to do? Let's bring Earl Thomas back.
Fucking, I'm in. I mean, I'll lure and punch him. I'll get killed afterwards, but it's fine. I'm willing to make that sacrifice.
Or we got Steve Smith's always around. We just have him just keep him on the payroll, and that's his job, just to punch KVN before every game.
You're the KVN puncher. Who's the guy that punched out Ike Empanali or whatever his name is? He's
that's got to be pretty close. That's a pretty good recall by you.
Yeah, I'm brilliant. People have said I don't like to talk about myself that way, but many people have stated that I'm very smart and know a lot of things. So just credit to them. But I don't know. Let him just punch Kyle Van Noy every couple of weeks. Make sure it stays broken. And OA is playing phenomenal. A lot of people were upset that Clowney left, but we don't seem to be missing him too much. So
not at all.
That was so close to the guy's name.
What is
really
it?
impressive. It's IK, not Ike. And then
You
his
sure?
last name, yeah, I'm looking right at it with my fucking eyes. Yeah.
Okay.
IK. Capital I, capital K.
And then what's
And then
the
his
last
last name is ENEMKPALI. So that's really close to what you said.
That's impressive by me.
That is pretty good. Yeah. I'm
Not gonna lie.
all right. I'm
That's,
giving Drew. I don't give Drew credit on the podcast very often. Today he earned it.
Yeah, that was honestly, I'm stunned that I was that close, but I figured everybody would know who I was talking about if I said it anyway. So yeah, I don't know. We gotta keep our pass rushers looking good. Yannick will be up eventually. I'm surprised he didn't get the game day promotion with Michael Pierce being out, but I'm sure we'll see him in the rotation soon enough. And that'll be a nice, breath of fresh air. Just somebody that has a clue of how to get to the quarterback and take them down to, play some snaps here and there. So
I see him getting brought up this week.
You mentioned Harbaugh with the stupid second time out. What the fuck was Marlon doing? So
Yeah, that's the other issue too.
If I'm watching that play correctly, so he makes the pass break up, he celebrates it, and then he goes down and fakes an injury. I think the logic behind that is that fake the injury, you stop the clock, it's a 2-minute warning, and then you get the ball back with 2 timeouts and stop clock, whatever. But like Marlon's not the guy that's supposed to go down there. It's supposed to be some rotational pass rusher like that. You know what I mean? That you're faking an injury for basically a clock stoppage, not your alleged CB1. So what are you doing? Like lock in, stop doing the podcast. Jack Settleman had another woe is me tweet too. I'd be remiss if I didn't fucking mention that retard and his, I guess we're gonna record a podcast.
Hey, bro, I ain't gonna lie, yo. Fuck Jack Settleman, bro. He keep on subtweet me and shit. Fuck you. Fuck out of here, motherfucker.
Like I said,
hey, bro. Hey, yo, hold up, Drew. You know what was crazy that somebody said? Hey, Trippy, you know what would make the podcast more dope if they had you on there? What you think? If they had me on there, if me and Marlon Humphrey had a podcast, the flock would be happy. But no, Marlon Humphrey want to be pussy and block me. And Jack Settleman keep want to say, oh, should we do a podcast this week? Like, dumbass up.
Jack, just for the record, from Zone 32, the answer is always you should not do a podcast. It's fucking terrible, but...
Moral of the story, stop being a hipster. Stop being a hipster.
Is he going to wear a Evan McPherson jersey at the game Sunday? Is the real question. You know he's going to be there. You know he's going to be on the sideline because he's friends with the kicker. That should be your first red flag. To anybody who's friends with kickers.
You know what? I'm going to the game too. I hope I see that motherfucker. I hope I see him.
Hold up. Wait, what's wrong with kickers? Whoa. What's wrong with kickers, man?
Kickers are weird.
Hey, yo, listen, right?
I was one.
Look,
I know it doesn't look like it.
Hold on, who the fuck said that? You was a kicker, bro? I was a kicker too. Hello?
Do you know
I don't, but
you guys are basically twins, so I mean it works out.
Well,
I felt like I was looking in the mirror, but
Calvin is 6'3", 97 pounds, and thinks he can kick a ball 35 yards to the uprights. Is he nuts?
Well, see, here's the thing. I had the extra weight that he didn't have. I think I outweighed every kicker in our conference by like 60 pounds.
Janikowski vibe.
Yeah, the Sebastian Janikowski.
I did.
Yeah.
I brought it around right after.
You didn't have a pocket full of roofies, though, right?
No, I did not. No.
Okay, good.
Were you smoking cigarettes and drinking vodka at halftime?
The cigarettes, probably. Yeah.
So, I mean,
or something else.
That's not like normal behavior. Normal kickers are like Justin Tucker singing opera, doing weird shit. So,
was not into that. No.
Maybe I shouldn't generalize all kicking. McPherson looks like a fucking dork. So Jack Settleman's a fucking dork too. Is really the point of this.
Y'all remember when
appreciate you retracting
trying to talk him up?
Yeah,
and talk about him as like the best in the league.
I don't retract much.
Well, fucking dork.
I'll do it.
Man, fuck Jack Settleman. Fuck punchline 44, 45.
Oh, so Trippy, if you see him, I need you to get down to the field level, kind of hang over the fence, and just yell at him, "Hey, Jack, lock in." Whatever you said to Marlon, just say it verbatim. I don't think he'll understand it, but it will be fucking hilarious.
Hey, look, right? I can't get into full details, right? But somebody on the team family member said, "Hey, Trippy, I love that shit you did with Marlon. I love that shit." And guess what? I love that shit too.
By the way, I got your nickname, Trippy. It's Mr. 75 out of 75. That motherfucker needs to lock in. Figure it out.
I don't know, bro. Sister be looking at me, bro. I don't know, bro. I don't know about that. Say no, but
you gotta say Marcus. You say Marcus. I want you to be great. So be fucking great. You gotta do it kind of in a positive way. Be like, hey, you suck right now, but I have faith in you. So like a backhanded compliment. Be like, hey, man, listen, I've been defending you on the podcast. Everybody's being like, don't make me look dumb today. I think
got
that's
you.
got to be a play with Marcus Williams. Be like my coach said that you're worst ranked safety, according to PFF, and you're fucking atrocious and you're a waste of money. Make him look dumb. Give me something to talk shit to him about on Tuesday. I feel like Trippy was in the middle of a profound point before he broke up there.
Yeah, he was about to be.
Yeah, he was.
He was about to
Before he
educate
lost
us on
service.
something.
Yeah, he was about to drop some hot facts there, and we lost that.
Lack of connectivity.
Marcus Williams is to me off though.
I broke up. I'm right
Yeah.
here.
Yep. Yeah, you did.
Yep.
Oh, should we lost some
service.
period? Damn.
Is that part of that whole the Verizon outage that's been going on? Trippy got caught up.
Yeah, I ain't got caught up. I got Verizon. I had no issues.
You live in California, you're not a real Trippy back.
Oh, my bad. My
That's
fault.
fine.
I'm back now. Can y'all hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. I'm right here riding by Gilman, bro. You know how the service is, but I wanted to let the people know first on Zone 32, right? I had a conversation with Todd Munton before the game, right?
We saw the video.
I said, hey, Todd.
All the video.
I said, hey, no, that was afterwards. Y'all ain't see the
That was
video.
after,
I said,
yeah.
Todd,
Come on, guys.
I said, hey, Todd, let me whisper a bug in. He said, hey, what's up, Trippy? I said, bro. I said, yo, check this out, right, bro? Last time we played the Buffalo Bills, we was up 20-3, right? You know who the OC was, right? Hey, Todd, I ain't gonna say no names, but look, man, don't let up on that gas pedal. He said, I got you. Look, you saw the final score, man. Like, bro, we just got locked in, bro. I feel like
I asked Jack, but I asked Jack Sullivan if it was okay that you were talking to Todd Munton. He has not gotten back to me, so I don't know.
Bro, you see what I'm saying, bro? That's what I've been saying, Drew, bro. Like, motherfuckers be having so much to talk about, but he couldn't. Bro, what's up? Why they scared to reply to you, bro? Like, what's going on, yo? What you got against them?
I'm the Twitter boogeyman. People.
You had John. Look, it's something about these. It's something about these J motherfuckers. John, Jack, Jack.
Whoa,
Jake.
Oh,
no, nobody's scared of your big ass fool.
Yeah. Why won't you see me on the timeline?
No, hey yo, Jack. Not Jack.
I don't post enough for all that shit.
Look, Jake. He family right there, but I'm talking about the other J motherfuckers, Jack and John, man. My man Drew packed their dumb asses up and they couldn't even come back. I'm still waiting on a response. 2 weeks
I think
later,
Jack's trying to get the picture of me, you, and him erased from the internet.
It's a real thing. You should send it to me because I'll be sure to add future replies.
I'll send it. Yeah.
But,
you for real though? You for real, bro?
No. Well, no, but I don't think you can get things erased from the internet, Trip. But if you could, I know a couple people who would want some things erased.
Yep.
That's
the truth.
I feel like
the NFL. Yeah, I ain't gonna say that. Nope.
Jack.
Nope.
I feel like Jack do what's that not Nicki Minaj song, Carly B and Offset song, Do Anything for Clout. He do anything for clout, bro.
Yeah, I'm giving him the clout that he wants, and he's not a fan of it. So clout cuts both ways, Jackie.
Hey man,
real shame.
Hipsters suck.
We won it.
Let's get into the game. Bengals. Yeah. First of the two regular season matchups.
Jake, you can't say Bengals and not add the
man, chili spaghetti cousin fuckers, all that bullshit. Yeah.
Ancestry.com for Tinder.
Yeah. Well, we know the deal. I've been saying it for 3 years. If it's not ingrained in people's minds, actually, Alex, you know what Bengals fans do and shit on fucking Northern Kentucky. Eat chili spaghetti and fuck their cousins.
And now I know.
And watch Losing Football. It's there.
They watch Losing Football and they use Ancestry.com like anyone else would use Tinder. They trying to impregnate the family tree. Have some fucking Hills Have Eyes children.
They
That's all I'm saying.
keep it in the family too seriously.
You don't need a nuclear holocaust to have a fucking Hills Have Eyes, baby. Just go to Northern Kentucky. Watch them people fuck each other at the family reunion. It's not even a gathering of family. It's a fucking orgy with foxtails. And Orlando Brown Jr. is right there in the middle of it.
I forgot he was on
Fuck furries. Furries are fucking creepy ass people.
That's
just whack.
Believe that she's just been walking around with a fucking foxtail butt plug for no reason.
It's a subculture. They're furries. They exist. I don't like them, but they exist.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you just drop something about Orlando Brown Jr.? Wait, is he in that community?
Come on now. How you gonna walk around with a foxtail and not be in that community? That's all I'm saying. That's what furries do.
I didn't even know what the foxtail. I'm getting educated right now.
Either you're a furry or you're going to raves and taking ecstasy, or both. Which he's probably is doing. Probably going to fucking raves, getting things down, and fucking anything that moves.
I assume he was
as long as they're in an animal costume.
He said, he's a left tackle.
Yeah, man, he was in a fox suit and he asked, "What does the fox say?" And did that song while he did so.
All right, I'm going to get this back on track. I want Grant's thoughts on this. I feel like Grant has some schematic here as to why we're going to win like 70-0.
Well done, moderator Drew.
I mean, just depending on we all know how the Bengals games go. Like they're one of those situations where they could beat us on any given day, or we could blow them out. Like there's no usually like.
Do you think that they're capable? I mean,
no,
they're
and the reason is I think that the biggest thing is not too much needs to change in the defensive schematics from last week to this week based off the quarterback play. Now, Josh Allen's more of a runner, but the way that the coverages were ran, I think that's going to be fine against the Bengals. Jamar Chase hasn't been himself. Burrow's been getting eaten up because the offensive line is suspect. So I think you got to keep doing the pressure, the stunts. I think you just keep rotating those pass rushers off the edges and just let them eat. But offensively, I think that you need to be able to just control the clock like we did last game, run the ball. But if you need to add those tight end sets, do the same.
You see what noted Bengals insider and potential defensive coordinator replacement Zim said for defensive game plan for them. He wants to put 9 to 10 guys in the box and force Rashad Bateman to go for 150 yards to beat him.
He said that for real?
Wait, what?
Yeah, he said he wants to stack the box and make Rashad Bateman beat you. He thinks Dax Hill and Geno Stone over the top can contain Zay Flowers, and that.
Why is he talking about Rashad Bateman? He's like the fourth option in the passing game. What are we talking about here?
Isaiah likely doesn't exist, and apparently Nelson Aguilar don't exist in Zim's world. So that's the caliber of what we're dealing with this week. Going up against Bills fans are bad, Bengals fans are worse. Like Grant said, I feel like we should be able to run for 100 yards on the Bengals. So let's
put it this way with the fans. Let's put it this way with the fans. The most annoying fan in the Bills Twitter universe is that guy who lives in Barcelona, and not even the most annoying fan in the Cincinnati Bengals Twitter fan universe is a guy from Nazi Germany. So that tells you everything you need to know about those.
He's got some annoying political views. At one point, he told Will the Holocaust was like 80 years ago. Move on. I feel like was the exact quote from him. So
it is.
It happened like a generation ago. So you should stop talking about it. I think is exactly what he told you. Yeah, that's the caliber of moron we're going to be up against.
And back to schematics, I'd like to see us run more.
We get 10-on-7, bro.
See more crossing concepts. I think we need to work the middle of the field more, but also those extended plays, having somebody cross the field on a leak, like the tight end slips. But I think all that's going to open up the run game. As long as Henry keeps running like he's doing. Justice Hill was a fucking spark plug. Like I was completely wrong with Justice Hill. I was like, what are we?
Me too.
Are we putting everything in the bank on this guy? But man, the way he plays, like I admire him. Like
it's like I said about Likely and
I don't like the way you said that.
Try it again.
I admire him, dude. He plays
admire him.
hard. He plays fucking hard.
Man, if this was the NPM chat, you'd be getting flagged hard right now.
Please make a note of that for just need to update some records.
Do it again.
I thought that Grant was going to have something like, he was going to keep going. He was like, I admire him.
That's not even how I said it. Look at you trying to change the tone up. Look at you, Kamala, trying to change the tone up.
I mean, the
words. Hold on, my car must be loud.
I mean, Drew, you made the point on Sunday. He's our Kevin Falk. It makes sense. Solid utility
Kevin
back.
Falk, our Dion Lewis. But the thing with Justice Hill again is that like
crazy.
Do whatever you
What's
ask
going
him.
on?
So I'm just I don't know what's going on with Trippy, but there's some intense
we're
shit going on.
We're gonna put him on mute while he figures this out.
While he's on mute,
I think
I put him on mute.
Yeah, while he's on mute, might as well give him a shout out. 'Cause I mean, all this offseason, we were talking about why is he here. He was the one to say Justice Hill's going to be a big part of this offense.
You're right.
He was right.
He was right. Trippy is the number one Justice Hill fan. Now, when we drafted Justice Hill, I was really excited about it, and then the memory burned in my brain is I forget which play it was, but I think it was 2019 or 2020, but it may have been in the playoff game against the Titans. The Titans.
I'm
That
trying to
was
think.
2020
Nothing pops
into
for that.
21.
No,
Okay.
That game against the Titans was 2019 when we
The
lost.
Titan. That's
Well,
the one.
which-
That's the one.
hold on,
No.
which-
This is the
which
play.
Titan one?
It was that game, and it was when Hollywood made that catch, the one-handed catch, and Justice Hill was in the game and just running along the sideline, but like out of bounds, just running alongside of the play the entire time. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing? What?
Let's go to high motor.
Yeah, but like, dude, you're out of the play. You've run out of bounds. So now you're just keeping whoever's
Something
defending
like a fire
you
alarm going off
in.
the background?
Sounds like a
Or it
cricket.
sounds like a cricket.
Yeah, that
hear
sounds
that,
like
right?
a cricket.
Oh,
I
I
do.
got a cricket out here. Hold on.
Fucking kill it. Tell Jiminy to go away.
That shit sounds
Right.
crazy.
Justice Hill to me for a long time was like the guy who was just like, dude, what are you doing?
Give an effort for
Anytime I would see him would just be like he's just on the field doing nothing. Now I know he was like a special teams contributor and everything, but man, Justice Hill has been fucking awesome. This past week he was incredible, and Trippy deserves credit because Trippy told us he was going to be a big part of the.
I ain't
of the
just tell
offense.
y'all. I told the Ravens fly. They like, man, Justice Hill, fuck out of here, bro. Hey,
See-
bro, but let's be honest though, right? Fuck us, the fans and us. How you think J.K. Dobbins feel about that?
How do you think J.K. Dobbins feels about being with Greg Roman not being able to coach quarterbacks?
Well, I ain't gonna lie, that's his fault because he chose to go there. So
J.K.
Yeah,
Dobbins
he is.
doesn't get. You know what? J.K. Dobbins doesn't care because all he cares about is his own stat line, and he's got like 360 rushing yards. He's doing pretty well for himself out there.
now the
But-
last 2 games he ain't been doing good.
Well, all I'm saying is he's a top, if not top 5. He's right outside the top 5 in rushing yards.
I
You know,
don't know if he is
we
anymore.
have 2 of the top 9 rushers in the league on our team.
I hate that, by the way, that the top 9, like, let's just say that 2 of the top 10. Why are we using arbitrary numbers?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going
Fill
to
it
give
in.
the
It's just-
10th guy any
It's
credit.
like when that number that we don't like was like Lamar's 6th and top 6 in turnovers. Like, okay, you can't say top 5, so you got big 6.
Well, but I'm doing it. I'm doing it for the opposite reason.
But like, if we're just gonna pick, let's just do 10. 10's a round number. Everybody agrees top 10's important. So we get 2 guys in top.
If I said if we had 2 of the top 10, then people would assume that one of them was number 10.
Or we could just say we have the 2nd and 9th ranked rusher. We don't have to be like 2 of the top 9.
But that's too wordy.
So
But just arbitrarily picking 9th place is mattering.
as far as Justice Hill
Bothers
goes,
me.
during
It's
the
one of
whole
those weird things. Just makes me upset.
So as far as Justice Hill go, I always thought he was a good east and west runner, but
He is the best player named Hill to come out of Oklahoma State in the last few years. Much better human being, and just a good guy. all around.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
If Keaton Mitchell comes back and is completely healthy, I would be one to say that Justice Hill needs to stop being on the field.
Well, he's not
Because you
going to stop
can't
being
take-
on
you
the
can't
field.
take
it would be a
He's not
three-way
going to stop being on the
rotation.
field. But
I think
and
you'll see a
so
reduction
here's
in
here's the
Snapchat.
thing. The mistake I
You
made.
can't take
The
snaps.
mistake
From,
the mistake that I made was thinking that Justice Hill and Keaton Mitchell are similar players, and they're not. Justice Hill.
yeah, but
Justice
I think
Hill.
with 3 backs, 3 backs doesn't work. It doesn't.
I think he does.
Henry needs 18 touches.
I think
Which means he's going to be on the field.
He'll
right
get
now,
it.
like
It'll just
20
be
or so.
Justice Hill's touches will be split in half. That's all.
I don't know what.
But I think you got to get
Snapchat
Keaton
was.
Mitchell his touches.
Right,
I
so
think
I don't know what
if
the
you add a
Snapchat
third
was
back
last
in there, you take someone out.
I'm okay with so I think it's like a 60-40 split now between Henry and Hill, give or take, or maybe 50-50. I think you cut into Justice Hill snaps there, and so you go 50-25-25. And
But let me
I'm
ask you-
okay with, but
But I'm going to ask you a question. Keaton Mitchell is the more explosive of the 2. Can we all agree on that?
yeah, definitely. He was
Okay.
He still got it, obviously. But
This is
assuming he
all
comes
the
back
assumption that he comes back as he was. So here's my thing. Don't you want to give the guy that has the explosive big play ability enough touches so he hits that big play? Like, you're basically saying, okay, you got 6 chances and Justice Hill gets 6 chances, right? You got to give Keaton Mitchell, you got to give those big play guys. It's like Devin Achane down in Miami. You got to give him enough touches where he's going to hit the big one.
So the problem is that Justice Hill is the guy that did the dirty work. And you can't just put him out there to do the dirty work and pass block, because then you're telegraphing your offense like you did week 1 against the Chiefs. So you almost have to give Justice Hill some touches just to kind of keep the defense on their heels. But I get what you're saying. Like, if we're going carries here, it should be 75% of the carries go to Derrick Henry, and 20% go to a healthy Keaton Mitchell, and then you get a few touches here and there for Justice Hill. The reality is that snap count should be more like 50, 25, 25 though. So you almost make the most out of the snaps that Keaton Mitchell's on the field. Not enough, again, that the defense can kind of say, oh, Keaton Mitchell's on the field, he's touching the ball, but enough that he is getting more touches than Justice Hill, but not more than Derrick Henry. There's a balance on this, and that's what you pay a coaching staff for, not some drunk idiot named Drew on a podcast. So
I want to point something out.
Yeah,
we were, before the season started. Well, maybe it was after week 1. It was when I think it may have been when the comments were made about 30 carries a game for Henry, right? And I think we talked about this on the show, that when Derrick Henry gets over 20 yards historically in his career, he's much more productive. What?
20 carries, not 20 yards. But yeah.
Continue. Oh, did I say 20 yards?
Yeah, you said 20 yards, but
yeah, no. So I meant 20 carries. Yeah. So. All right, week 1, he had 13 for 46 and a touchdown. Week 2, he had 18 for 84 and a touchdown. Week 3, he had 25 for 151 and 2 touchdowns. Week 4, 24 for 199 and a rushing touchdown, and then a passing or receiving touchdown. So that 20 touch threshold is real with him. It has to happen.
It is, and the problem is that you can't. There is a way to go about it. We've done a great job of it the last 2 of you're not just giving him carries to give him carries, like they're meaningful carries, and you're making the most out of that. And so my issue with the whole, we signed Derrick Henry, we should make him a 30 carry a game back. Like, no, we got to pick our spots here. We got to be efficient. So it's more of an efficiency thing. And so again, I like the way the offense looks now with the way that Derrick Henry's running. Keep that shit up. And you just gotta, add a little bit more of a little bit more considerate passing element to that. And
the great thing about a Derrick Henry getting 20 plus carries offense, like whatever you want to call that offense, is the defense knows that Derrick Henry's going to get 20 carries, and they fucking hate it. They hate every second of preparing for it, and then they hate actually having to deal with it, because the problem for a defense with dealing with Derrick Henry over 20 times is they have to go and meet him at the point of attack. So they have to get their ass kicked.
Somebody tweeted that, like, a clip of, a bunch of clips of Patrick Ricard, and they're like, people are going to start making, and people are going to definitely start making visions with him.
Well, and that's when we talk about them having 3 tight ends on the field and Pat Ricard, or, Pat Ricard and 2 tight ends. But like having all those big bodies that can move and are looking for someone to hit, and then having to also tackle Derrick Henry after that is fucking insane. Like these defenses are getting their ass, like they're just getting punched in the face over and over and over again.
I know
it's 550 pounds of man coming at you.
350 pounds according to Chris Collinsworth.
Dude, I swear to God, man, when he kept saying that, I'm like, bro, that's one of them. Guy. One of them is 350 pounds.
He's a numbers guy. He runs PFF. I don't know why.
Here's the thing, Drew, that neither one of us have taken into consideration. He's talking about tree fitting. He's been talking that goddamn Loch Ness monster way too damn much.
Yeah, well, and he's also spent a lot of time in Cincinnati, so that may have.
Oh yeah, incest will fuck up your brain cells.
Yeah.
Yep.
A little skyline chili on the brain. Yep.
I definitely think there's going to be some games though where Lamar, they're going to use these past 2 games, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Cincinnati game, where like probably the first or 1 or 2 drives, they're going to give it to Henry a couple times, like 3-4 times in those drives, and if they go 3 and out, they're not going to care, because what that's going to do, that's going to draw Cincinnati into the box, because they don't have a very good rush defense to begin with. And to be honest, their defense sucks. I mean, you look at their scores.
Their defensive line, especially.
Oh yeah. So, but I think this is the game where Lamar could throw for about 300 yards and 3 touchdowns in the air. Because once they creep up after those first 2, he's going to go over the top, and that's when I think some of these receivers like Andrews, Likely, Zay, I think they're going to get theirs in this game. To be honest with you,
it could definitely be an Andrews breakout game. Yeah, like Andrews.
That secondary can't cover 1-on-1. It can't.
I think this is probably an unpopular opinion, but like I love that. If we never throw for another yard all season, every game, I don't care. I love the smash mouth beating the fuck out of the other team.
I agree with you.
Michigan is doing it now with Orgy at quarterback, and I was begging for that to start the year because it's just there's something great about lining up. The other team knows you're running the ball, and they still can't stop you. There's something like they fucked you that badly. You know what's coming, and you still can't stop it.
And it's very possible, like you just said, they might do that this game. But I think like if Monken's thinking 3 to 4 games down the road when the games are going to get a little bit more difficult, he's going to have to show Lamar still has weapons in the receiving game just to keep some heat off of Derrick Henry.
I think it's the opposite, is that he doesn't have to show that against the Bengals because they can't stop the run. And you save that for the games where you have to pass the ball. And my whole thing with going to get Devontae Adams too is that like when you have to rely on the pass, you need guys you can rely on. And that's why you need a Devontae Adams type guy out there. That maybe he's only getting 3 targets a game when we're running for 275, 300 yards, but there's going to be that game where we're going to have to throw for 400 yards to win it, and we want that guy on our side.
I don't think Adams would care, to be honest with you, at this point.
No, he's
getting toward the end of his career. He wants that championship ring.
Yeah, he's got the all pros.
He's got his money.
Significantly better than guys who get hyped up like Mike Evans. Just a clearly superior wide receiver to somebody like Mike Evans. And people already know that, so he just wants to win. Let's get him a ring.
That's a bold statement on Mike Evans, by the way.
So
that was a deep cut, and I made a spreadsheet to.
He's a hater.
Explain this.
Oh, okay. All right. I was unaware of
that. He's a fucking idiot.
Will and Grant are on the impression that Mike Evans is this fucking great all-time wide receiver because he's hit an arbitrary stat.
He is.
He's hit an arbitrary number all in a row, but if you look at the aggregate of seasons and you look at receptions, yards, and touchdowns, he's only ever been top 10 across the board like one time in his career. But
look who his quarterbacks were. Besides what Tom Brady is, look who's throwing the ball.
And he's going to be a Hall of Famer. He's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Hall of Famer.
No question.
Hall of Famer.
He is the Kirk Cousins of wide receivers.
No, Drew, he just actually used a word that is
except he's got a ring.
Misinformation. He said aggregate. No, not aggregate. You are subjectively saying in all those seasons, individually, he was not top 10 in whatever year. He was playing with
in aggregate, none of his years averaged over 10. If I took those 3 categories.
Okay, you're comparing him to Antonio Brown and Megatron.
Correct. So he's never been the best wide receiver in a year that he's played. Therefore, he is not top 10. He is just a guy like Kirk Cousins who puts up good seasons if you look back at them individually. But when you compare them to his peers, he's not that good. Not a top 10 wide receiver. Suck my dick.
Consistency gets you because
he's easily a top 10 wide receiver today.
Over 1,000 yards. 10 years. He hasn't had one season
under
1,000 yards.
And he's had like 13.
No matter who his fucking quarterback is.
Yards,
Correct. Josh McCown. Fucking Jameis Winston. Before the LASIK surgery.
Wasn't Byron Leftwich his quarterback at one point?
I think
was that his offensive coordinator?
He was his offensive coordinator.
Marshall Legend.
But wasn't he his quarterback before that? Like
he was a first.
I thought he was the quarterback there for a little bit.
He was first round pick. I don't know why you're hating on him. 7th overall.
This shockingly is not Drew's dumbest take. His dumbest take is that what's his name? Fucking
Noah Syndergaard.
Noah Syndergaard was going to sign a $200 million contract. One contract for $200 million.
My take was that he was going to make more money than David Price.
No, you said he was going to be a $200 million.
Yeah, because that would make him more than. That was why the $1 million number was used. And
the last update I saw on him was he's going to get in good shape this offseason. He wants to come back next year. That's the last thing I heard
has
about
a
him.
more recent playoff with the Orioles franchise. Please discuss.
Okay. Well,
that's what I thought.
You just recently won your battle with 500, so.
You haven't won a battle in the playoffs since in 3,649 days. Discuss. The Red Sox finished 500.
That hurts a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you.
They scored the same amount of runs in the playoffs this year as the Orioles have. So
he did this last year. He just changes his verbiage about it. No, doesn't matter.
It still cuts a little
not
bit.
won a playoff game since October 5th of 2014.
I would like to congratulate the Boston Red Sox for not coming in last place for the 3rd straight year.
I would like to congratulate the Orioles on something, but they haven't done anything worthy of congratulating in 10 years. So, just would like to point that out. You guys won a whole bunch of regular seasons for nothing. You guys were Cincinnati Bengals, Major League Baseball. And back to the Bengals,
Second.
we're going to beat the fuck out of them on Sunday.
Oof.
Look at that fucking transition, Jake.
Oh, we haven't even really started the preview of that, huh? All right, well, we should get into that.
We did, and it got segued.
We started.
We got segued into the
very
furries.
much so veered
Grant
away.
gave us some very
You-
intelligent
and-
points
hey,
on how to win.
Yeah, Jake, you're the one who's supposed to keep us on track, and you're the one who started that.
Yeah, that's you know I'm not going to do that.
Jake is
You
supposed to start
already
us on
know.
track, and then he'll drop some fucking reference that nobody knows and talk about it for 25 minutes.
I'm trying to figure out what happened to Trippy's
No,
camera.
less than that.
So in regards
Trippy is,
to
there he
Sunday's
is.
game,
He's there.
I
He's
just
there.
want a huge win
I was getting the
for
front
the
view.
Cincinnati Bengals because I want to rub it in all my family and friends' faces because I'm originally from the Northern Kentucky, Greater Cincinnati area, and just
Who calls it that? Great. There's no greater Cincinnati. It's all lesser.
that's what they call it there.
No. And I'll be honest with you. I recently saw a map where it really spelled it out for everyone. They are really in Kentucky.
Yeah. The Cincinnati
fucking
Airport's in
river.
Covington, Kentucky.
It's
That
really
fucking river, man. That river. The stadium's right up against the edge of that river, and
Oh,
the
no,
other
the
side of that
river is-
river is Kentucky.
Yep.
Yeah, no, the state of Kentucky owns majority of that river.
Nobody likes
Yep.
Ohio. Everybody agrees Ohio is a terrible state, and the state of Ohio has rejected Cincinnati as one of their cities. So
Yeah.
that tells you a lot.
And
That's all I need to
People
know.
in Cleveland.
And it makes
I can't
me-
talk
Cleveland
shit
make
about
fun
the
of
area.
Cincinnati.
Yeah, when you-
I got some family in Columbus, so I can't say shit.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh, no,
If you fly into the Covington fucking airport, what's one of the first things you see in a picture in that fucking airport is? A big ass bowl of chili spaghetti.
I thought you
They
were gonna say
fucking
Robert E. Lee or some shit.
And here's
no,
here's a little.
no, that's the other. You gotta go to the deep part of the airport to find the ad for Ancestry.com with some fucking bitch with missing teeth trying to show her Hooters and all that. But anyway, game scores. Let's do it. Who won in? BT, you got the floor.
Oh
I'm
shit.
gonna go
Let me get my-
42-17 Ravens.
Woo! I like it. That's an easy Sunday.
And also, I want to rub it into all my family and friends back home that may be watching this. Just remember that since y'all switched to Skyline, y'all have been losing.
There you
So
go.
they've always been a skylight.
What do you mean switch to Skyline? What,
No,
it's like Chili is like a
they're-
fucking cable provider in fucking.
Yeah, there's
Well, no,
Yeah, there's
no,
Skyline.
Hey,
There's
I ain't gonna
Gold
lie.
Star.
I might try the Skyline chili this week.
No,
Homie, I'll tell you this, Trippy. I'll tell you this. I've eaten it before, and
look what it turned
I-
into.
exactly.
it turned him into a
That is a
commie.
drink. He's got all kinds of weird email addresses.
Let's see. Let's see.
But if you were to go to
Now, I didn't drink before I ate Skyline chili, so there's that.
Trip,
Straight fucking
go
edge.
Camp Washington.
Hey Brandon, what was your score? It was something. What?
42 to 17.
All right. I thought it was
Ravens.
45. So 42-17. Got it.
Jake, what's your score?
I'm going 30 to 20. I expect another big game from Derrick Henry. Their defensive line sucks, and they don't like to run the ball, so that's why I'm thinking Burrow's going to sling it, do what he wants to do, what he's tries to do.
In the street like
And
you a fool.
they'll probably get some back shoulder catches like we saw last week with Keon Coleman on fucking B Steve because he kind of struggles to defend the back shoulder.
Brandon Stevens,
But
Brandon Stevens, turn your fucking head around when the ball's coming, you motherfucker. I'm gonna
Yeah,
fucking
he had,
punch my
actually. I should have put him on the
He's
list.
so fucking mad.
He did have he's been kind of rough the past 2 weeks with
Dude,
just
every goddamn
locate the
great
football,
position.
man.
Just turn your fucking head around, Brandon Stevens. You were running back.
Oh, y'all
8
must be
years ago.
talking about
Figure the
Brandon
fuck out.
Stevens, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my god, I ain't
gonna lie,
was
bro. He
ready to
pissing me
fucking,
off, bro. He pissing
throw my
me off.
remote through television.
He can, but his technique is perfect. Just
Other
turn
than
your
just
fucking
turn his
head.
fucking head around.
that's the biggest thing.
I
You think
forget
you get
who
the
it
ball
was,
skills playing on offense first,
Oh,
but
it was
you don't.
when the Patriots drafted Devin McCourty. He was a corner to start off with, and they used to have him on the radio, and they would play that "Turnaround" song every time that he would come on beforehand, and he never figured it out. As that's why they were playing it to make fun of him. But yeah, so I just want to play that song on repeat to Brandon Stevens tonight before the game, and then maybe he'll figure it the fuck out and be like, "Oh, I should turn my head around and look for the fucking ball."
He'll catch some fucking interceptions if he does.
It'd be nice. I mean, he's a running
Yeah.
back, so he can find a lane and take it for 6. But he's got to turn his fucking head around before that happens.
Yeah. But anyway, 30 to 20. I think the Ravens get a comfortable win. Bengals defensive line's trash outside of Hendrickson. I mean,
I want to go after on my score prediction because Grant's prediction is going to shape mine.
There you go.
So we can go Alex and then Grant.
Correct.
I'm going 35-22.
Okay.
22.
Ravens.
That's
Ravens.
a random number.
You get the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, you know,
35.
a lot of
2-point conversion.
I think.
Or
I just
5
think they're
field
gonna
goals.
have, I think the Bengals are going to get a lot of field goals. I don't think they'll get touchdowns. That's why I think 22.
There's no way that you can divide 22 by 3, just for the mathematicians out there.
You got to kick 5
They
field
might get
goals and
some
score
touchdowns.
1 touchdown. You
Thank
get 1
you.
touchdown and 5 field goals. That's how you make that happen. Anyway, Trippy.
Coming at me with your PhD in mathematics over there. What the hell?
I've had quite a bit of Penelope tonight, but I just know that 22 does not divide into 3 evenly.
That's some good liquor, by the way.
Yeah, I can rarely find it here, but I found it for very cheap. I was pretty excited.
Anyways, Trippy, what you
Alex
got?
let me drink from his secret supply of Penelope
Just like
that
that
I've never
most-
seen before, ever.
Just
I
like
went
that
to
Mos Def
college.
song. It's simple
I went to
mathematics.
college with the CEO of Penelope, so we got some
Anyway,
bottles sent to us.
Trippy, give your score prediction, my guy.
What was the score? What was the score to Commanders Bengals game last week?
38-33.
I think-
Ravens 38.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it don't matter, but Ravens 38, Bengals 17.
There you go.
All right, Grant.
I couldn't find the cricket, so just deal with it. No, everybody's taking my Bengals score, but I was going 34-17 Ravens. Bro, I ain't gonna lie. Hey, Grant, that was gonna be my first prediction, but I had to put 38 up there. But hey, Grant, I gotta ask you a question, right? You're a North Carolina Tar Heels fan, right? I don't want to talk about it. Hey, yeah, motherfucker, you ain't been on the show the last 2 weeks, man. I've been depressed. Tell me about the dude named James Madison. You ever met him before? I ain't gonna lie. James Madison gave me a word for you. And he said, "Hey, tell Grant
Man.
I live 45 minutes from there. Ago. I live 45
So I'm not going to
minutes
lie to you.
from
I actually picked James Madison on the money line in that game.
I would have too. We'd fucking suck.
James Madison's no joke. That they're not a joke of a team at all.
No, they're always great. But on Saturday, they're up 20-0 against Duke at the end of the third and lose 21-20. Like, that's fucking embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, Drake May has just put that program in the shitter. Having him come through and, graduate from that program has just done irreparable damage to them. But
let's get Yoga Boy on the field first.
Yeah, I mean, Yoga Boy has the same amount of passing touchdowns this year, so what do you think about that? All right, so my score is 42-21. If Grant went over 30, I was going to go 40. So that was what I needed him to pick. So
Grant has a fucking cricket the size of a
I feel
house
like it's
cat
on
in
Grant's
his
shoulder.
garage.
It's part pit bull.
Like he has
It sounds like you need a sponsorship from Cricket Wireless.
Yeah, seriously.
All right,
I don't know.
I'm going. I think that the Bengals are going to get their fucking dicks kicked in. I'm going to go 38-13.
And
last week,
combos?
last week I was the only person who was had the balls to go over 30 points, and I nailed the total 35. Ravens
This is a
team total.
big week for Will Jersey because Will's lost the throne and maybe he can,
I'll start because I went last. I think it's obvious we're going white jerseys, purple pants.
Yeah, that was my co-signed by me. So Will, my court jester of jersey picks.
Well, it was strategic that I insisted I go first.
Yeah, because you knew that everyone was going to pick white purple. So.
No, well, I just didn't want you trying to claim that I somehow took your pick.
No, that's fine, but I just I'm of the jersey picks and you're not. So I'm glad that you aligned yourself with the.
I never claimed I'm the king of the picks. I'm the king of the data. I keep the information.
The data should tell you. Data should tell you when to pick, and you just don't seem to understand.
It's not predictive. It's not predictive.
Analysis. That's all I'm saying. Should be able to read.
It doesn't predict the combination. It predicts the outcome.
But they're gonna wear white.
I'd be shocked if everyone didn't say the exact same thing. Trippy's gone. All right.
I feel like Grant's gonna be like, oh wait, we're gonna redeem them.
No, I was going white purple, but part of me just wants to say white black just to be different, but I was going white purple.
White black is really bad. I don't know. It's black white actually. It's black white. White, black.
Now
fine.
go and keep your white purple. I got white black. White jerseys, black pants.
I was going to
Trippy.
go white
Trippy
jerseys,
uniform
black
combo.
pants.
My
as well.
bad, I'm back now. What happened?
We're doing
doing
jerseys.
Jersey pant combos.
We away. Oh, white tops, them light blue them light purple pants joints.
There you go, 42.
What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, I'm doing
those are the
white
new pants
jerseys,
we don't
black
know about.
pants.
I'm with you, BT.
You said white, black.
Alex.
Yeah,
Yep.
me and Jake are white black.
Yep.
And me, you, and Grant are white purple. So we need Alex here.
And
to,
Trippy. Trippy said white
I
purple.
don't know how the fuck I just
Yeah.
made it.
No,
Trippy
Trippy
did,
said white, light purple. What that is. So, Trippy knows about some new pants that we're gonna bust out.
There you go. Alex,
Hey,
what
Drew,
you got?
you choose, man? You choose the same thing, right, Drew?
Yes. Oh,
I
Jesus
know
Christ.
it's never been done before. I was going to go white tops with the gold pants, but they're never going to do that. So
Oh,
I
no,
guess I'll
God,
go-
no.
Will is never.
I'll
going
go
to
white and
that
white.
podcast.
I thought we got
The alt whites.
Oh,
The
Will's
alt
gonna come to your house
whites.
and kill you.
I think
All right.
they're going to go all white.
Good
gonna
night,
tell you right
alt
now,
white
I got
in
today,
fucking
Will.
Kentucky.
I'm going to tell you guys right now that the white black predictors are stupid. They don't pay close enough attention to the internet. The Bengals already said they're doing their
Black. All black.
no, they're doing black jerseys, orange pants.
Are they? No shit. I did not see that.
So
Okay,
we're not going to wear
I
any
would've-
black. We're not going to wear black.
Yeah, we probably won't. You're right.
So-
if we go white, I'd be very upset.
I don't think we will. It's a 1:00 game in Cincinnati.
Although if we go white, Will is one game closer to killing himself. So that is.
I don't think we're going white. They usually do in bigger, more like high profile situations, like a Primetime or a holiday game or whatever.
Yeah, and the
So-
sad part is
Christmas.
this is like the Bengals Super Bowl, but nobody really cares besides them.
Yeah, white purple. I think. I mean, logically, white purple is what's happening.
I agree.
By the way, anyone else happy that we finally got a 1:00 game this year?
Yeah, I'm
a 1:00 fan.
I like
I'm a-
4.
I
4 is my favorite.
Really? I don't like the
I like
4. I got to
12.
wait too long for my game.
Right.
I want
I
1:00.
like that
I want to be right in it.
I like that you can get up slow and then you're doing your thing, you eat your breakfast, whatever, get dressed, you're ready, and then you sit down and then you can just enjoy 1:00 games. Put on Red
How old
Zone.
are your kids?
Mine are 12 and 9.
I said that this is a Will having older children thing. I'm up at like 6:30 anyway, so I wanted 12 o'clock.
Right. I mean, when he said he was going to take his time and wake up, I mean, shit, what time are you waking up? I mean, I got plenty of time. I mean, I could wake up at 10 and still be ready for 1:00.
Well, but what I'm saying is then, the difference is
Hey,
this.
Will, look what I got
Then-
today, Will.
We can't see because it's dark.
Oh shit!
Game ball.
You got a
Oh,
bullpen
shit.
ball?
Yeah,
Hello?
look, the little kid, I caught one, but the little kid wanted one, so I gave it to him. And then the dude from the Royals ended up giving me one. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Oh,
All right.
he got longer.
Can I just put it
That's
on
probably
record?
one of
I had
the
to-
best things I've ever seen.
There he goes. There he's back.
He lost service
Trippy.
again.
Trippy, you go.
Hey.
I ain't gonna lie, bro, and then you cut out. You fucking ditched
Look.
us.
Hey, bro, I ain't gonna lie right now, but I know one thing. When I take this trip to Cincinnati this week, belt to ass.
So Trippy,
Look,
Trippy,
you know what I
you
told?
have
Look, I
more-
told
you
Chuck
have more
Clark.
game balls
I
than
keep
you're
saying
scoring
Chuck
runs.
Clark. My bad. I know I'm about to make Drew and Will mad. I told Chuck Smith, right, and Zach. Oh, I said, yo, check this out, right. I said I like the hustle from the pass rushers, right, but let's admit, Josh Allen ain't. You know what I mean? He a little mobile in that. Joe Burrow should be a sack. If we don't have over 6 sacks, man, something ain't Sunday. And I'm just being honest with you.
6 sacks.
David Job.
That's hunting.
David Job was
I mean,
catch up to his
listen,
career pace.
I want that
I think
to
that's
happen, but
doable. I think that's
I think
doable.
Kyle Van Noy gets 2.
you can't set the bar at 6. That's a lot.
All right, 8 sacks. Let's get it.
What you
There
mean
you go.
that's
Yeah.
a lot,
You
bro?
know-
We had 12 in
Listen,
one
you know,
game. What
Oweh
are you
always gets them in
talking about?
bunches too.
Yeah,
I'm gonna meet in the
They
middle.
do
with
come in
7.
bunches.
Oweh is
I'm
due
gonna-
for a
How
2-sack
about
We'll
game.
do gambling picks.
All right.
We'll do
Hey,
gambling
okay,
picks,
listen,
so,
I'm setting it at 4.5. That's gonna be the line, right? If we go over
Hammer.
4.5, I'm happy.
hammer the over.
Yeah, hammer
Hey,
the
yo, I ain't
over.
gonna
Hammer
lie.
the
Hey, G,
over.
hey, Will, stop disrespecting my man Chuck Smith, bro. Talking about some 4.5, bro.
Yeah.
Over 5.5, man.
Me, I'm
Always
a
Yeah,
Dr.
yeah.
Rush guy. I'm a Dr. Rush guy.
Kyle
Dr.
Van
Rush
Noy's
doesn't
gonna
know.
have 2. Ojabo's gonna have 1. Robinson's gonna have 1. And then
I got you to 4.
All I'm doing is I'm the handicapper here. I'm just saying 4.5. That's the line. I'm taking the over, so it could be 10. But jumping down my fucking throat. Jesus Christ.
Fuck it. Let's go for
Matabike's
9.
due for due for one, and
He is
Oweh is
due.
due for a
He's
twofer.
due for a couple, yeah.
Both of those guys are due, and
9.
Van Noy is going to
9.
get his.
I'm in on 9. 1 for every number of Joe Burrow's jersey. And we'll
I'm
tweet
just
out
doing.
the
I'm going over
right?
4. I'm going over 4.5. If you want to make me predict a number, I'm gonna say 5.
You suck.
I'm gonna hit the
I've sacks
over.
a lot of fucking
7.
sacks in one game.
9's better.
Anywho, I'd say it's about that time because that's gonna do it for this week's episode. We'll be back to discuss this, that, and the other. But meanwhile, it's time for me to die.
Zone 32.